She looked in the mirror, and the girl looking back wasn't copying her. She blinked. The reflection didn't. And then it smiled. A smile she had never seen before on her own face.
Emma had seen herself in that mirror 1,000 times. Same tired eyes, same messy hair, same girl. But tonight something was off. She had just finished brushing her teeth. The bathroom light buzzed faintly overhead. Nothing unusual until she reached to turn off the faucet and noticed it. Her reflection hadn't moved. Her body froze. She blinked once. The reflection didn't. She tilted her head. It stared straight ahead. Emma's heart punched her ribs from the inside. This wasn't some sleep-deprived illusion. No, she felt watched by herself. She forced a nervous laugh, stepped closer to the mirror, and waved her hand. Now the reflection moved, but the smile came first, and it wasn't her smile. Emma backed away slowly, her feet stiff as stone. Her fingers trembled as she grabbed her phone and flipped on the camera. She pointed it toward the mirror. On screen, nothing unusual. The reflection copied her exactly. Normal, fine. But when she lowered the phone, the mirror told a different story. Her double, now standing completely still, was smiling again. And Emma wasn't. She ran to her bedroom and slammed the door shut, heart pounding like thunder in her ears. It was just stress. Just sleep deprivation. Right? But as she turned off the light and crawled under the covers, her phone buzzed with a notification. Unknown sender. Why did you run? Her breath caught. Hands shaking, she opened the message. A photo of her sleeping. But it wasn't taken from inside her room. It was taken from inside the mirror. Emma didn't sleep that night. She couldn't. The image on her phone, her face, her bed, her closed eyes. But the angle, it was impossible, as if someone had taken it from the other side of the glass. She deleted the photo. Then she deleted it again from the trash folder. Then she threw the phone under the pillow and sat in silence, staring at the mirror across the room. She pulled the blanket up to her nose. She could see the mirror from the corner of her eye. And worse, it looked like the mirror could see her back. At 3:42 a.m., she got up. She walked to the mirror, slow, careful, like approaching a wild animal. She wanted to prove it was just a trick of the light, just a tired brain, just anything but what it felt like. But when she stood in front of it, her reflection smiled again. Emma didn't. This time, she whispered, "Who are you?" No answer. She raised her hand, touched the glass. So did the reflection. Perfectly timed. But then, the reflection kept its hand up, even after Emma pulled hers away. She stumbled back, eyes wide, mouth open in silent shock. And then, the reflection tapped the glass. Once, twice, a third time, slower, deliberate, like a code. And behind the glass, The Emma inside the mirror lifted a piece of paper. It said, "Let me out." Emma screamed. Not out loud. Not the kind of scream you hear with your ears, but the kind that floods your chest and steals your breath. She backed away. She tripped over her chair. She shut the lights, closed her eyes, and when she opened them again, the mirror was empty. No reflection, no girl, just glass. And her own face, now behind the mirror.
Emma didn't know what was real anymore. Her eyes were open, but her body wasn't there. No voice, no breath, no sound. At first, she thought she had passed out, but then she realized she wasn't in her room, not in her bed, not in the world she knew. She was behind the mirror. The wall in front of her was glass, but not just any glass. It was a window, and on the other side, she saw herself. Not the version she felt inside, but a version that moved, breathed, laughed, and acted just like her, too much like her. Emma stood frozen, watching her other self go to school, talk to her parents, cry the way only she cried. Everything was perfect, but it wasn't her. Inside the mirror, time didn't feel normal. Outside, days passed, but inside, she couldn't move, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't blink. She could only watch. At first, she screamed, then she pounded the glass, then she cried. And in the end, she started laughing. Because only one question remained. If the one outside looks like me, acts like me, then who am I? One day, maybe weeks later, maybe minutes, time didn't exist here. She saw the other version of herself walk back to the mirror. And for the first time, there was no reflection. It was true. Emma in the mirror was no longer a copy. They were two worlds, two beings, two selves. The girl on the outside slowly raised a lipstick and wrote on the glass, "Don't try to come back. This life is mine now." Emma lifted her hand, pale, ghost-like, and for the first time, she felt nothing. No skin, no breath, no heartbeat. Only glass and emptiness. She had become part of the mirror, but she wasn't alone, because deep in the dark space behind her, something moved. Something that didn't look like her. Something that had been waiting there, long before she ever arrived. Emma didn't turn around. She couldn't. Something behind her had moved. Something that didn't belong in any reflection. Something old and patient. She stood frozen, her hand against the glass, still warm from the lipstick letters the other version had written. "Don't try to come back." But what if she already couldn't? What if it was too late? In the silence behind her, something whispered, not in words, but in memories. She saw flashes, images not her own. A boy staring into the mirror until his eyes bled. A woman who vanished mid-sentence while brushing her hair. A child screaming, but only the glass heard it. Hundreds of reflections, trapped, swapped, forgotten. She wasn't the first. And the thing behind her, it fed on those left behind. She finally turned and saw it. Not a monster, not even a shadow, but a blur of lost faces. They shifted every second, blinking, gasping, reaching, like memories trying to become real again. Emma stepped back. It moved forward. No legs, no arms, just longing. It stopped inches from her and whispered in her own voice, "You still have one choice." Emma looked at the mirror again. The girl living her life was laughing now, smiling at her friends, holding her mom's hand, taking selfies, living. A life she hadn't appreciated when she had it, but now she understood, and now she could choose. So Emma ran, not away from the thing, but toward it, straight into the dark. And the moment she touched the blur, everything shattered. Glass, light, sound, time. She gasped and woke up. Back in her room, on the floor, alone. She scrambled to her feet and ran to the mirror. Her face stared back. Her eyes blinked. Her hand waved. The mirror matched perfectly. She was back. She was her. But just before she turned away, her reflection blinked twice. She didn't. And then it smiled, just slightly, just enough, as if to say, "You never really left."